Hey, what is up guys? So we're going to be doing a deck profile here for World Chalice. I've been playing this deck for not too long now. Of course, I've been building this deck ever since it first got introduced in Code of the Duelist. The only thing is it took me a really long time to just build the deck as the time went along. At the time, Brilliant Fusion was still at 3, so obviously it was really expensive, just couldn't build the deck at all. Same thing applies for certain other cards as well, that was just getting really pricey, and I was just taking so long to build the deck. So since the beginning at Code of the Duelist, up until this point, I've taken so long to actually build it. Been playing this ever since Dark Neostorm, so I'm not particularly amazing at this deck, of course, but I can at least do a few interesting things here. So I'll be uploading a few games in the future, so definitely do look forward to that. Just depends on how long it takes me to actually edit those videos, but without further ado, let's get started. So starting off with the monsters, well, let's go with the normal monsters. We're playing two copies, of Beckoned of the World Chalice. It's a level 4 and it's also an 1800 beat stick. I think it's really nice. It's also a warrior, so that is your search target for reinforcement of the army. We're also playing one copy of Chosen here. Chosen is basically your E-Tele target. It's a level 3, so potentially it can help you go into your Synchro Summon as well. And we're also playing one Crowned by the World Chalice, again with that versatility of being able to Synchro Summon. The thing is this, with Crowned, she was actually never played in the deck for a long time, so the fact that she actually has some versatility now is definitely really awesome. But this is the ratio I'm kind of just playing around with. Feel free to actually adjust it any way you want. Some people might decrease Beckon down to 1 and increase Chosen down to up to 2. So it's completely up to you in that case, but this is particularly the ratio that I kind of like right now. We're also playing one copy of Gemini Gunner. Obviously, I am going to be playing the Brilliant Engine. Despite the fact that Brilliant Fusion's at 1, it is still a really good card, and or rather a good engine to actually incorporate into this particular deck, as it still definitely helps out quite a bit. We're also playing 3 copies of Mystical Shine Ball. Obviously, we are playing Venus here, so definitely going to be very crucial to most of our combos, most of our big plays. Alright, so that's pretty much it for the normal monsters. Let's move on to the effect monsters. We're playing 3 copies of World Legacy World Chalice. A huge paragraph of effects here, so definitely easy to make misplays sometimes because you can't always, remember specifically everything, or you don't really have it in mind when you're making all your big combos and everything like that. So it is easy to really misplay with this particular card, but yeah, it is still definitely one of the key cards of the deck that is required to play 3 of. We're playing 3 copies of Lee of the World Chalice, obviously the main card to actually allow you to search all your World Chalice cards, so definitely really great. Also, its secondary effect to return itself to your hand as well from the graveyard is definitely very nice. We're also playing 2 copies of World Chalice Guard Dragon. This card did get reprinted in the Rocket Revolve structure deck, so if you guys actually are buying that, then you could actually get yourselves copies of this as well, if you intend to build this deck for a relatively budget price. But I don't think this card is too expensive. I do think it is a pretty relatively affordable card. I mean, it's been reprinted in the Mega Tin last year, so I'm pretty sure it shouldn't be too much. But if you were actually still looking for some, then you could easily get them in the reprints in the Rocket Revolve structure deck. Of course, the most key card in the deck is Venus, a very important card, of course. She is definitely really amazing to help you just bring out total 4 cards. She's pretty much a 1 card combo that pretty much just makes the deck really amazing, and have that whole infamy of it being able to do so many things. We're also playing 2 copies of Exodius. I do see a lot of people cutting this particular card completely out of their decks. Personally, I do like playing this card, and I think it's definitely very necessary, so I'm going to be playing at least 2 copies of it, just because sometimes I expend all my resources in just turn 1, and overall, this card pretty much helps me out in both mid-game and even late game at times as well. Here's another interesting tech. I'm playing one copy of Rescue Ferret. It's just a card that you could draw from with Yugioh, and obviously it could help you go for your combos and everything like that. So if you actually go into your Skull Dread, you could use its effect to special summon out the Rescue Ferret from your hand, and from there you could just activate the effect, and you could again go off and make a lot of big combos. So definitely really nice here. Just the one copy will definitely do the job. We're also playing one copy of Synchro Fusionist, basically one of the cards that actually help you add your Brilliant Fusion to the hand. Definitely a really nice card. If you're wondering how it works, it basically has to be used as a Synchro material. Together, Synchro Fusionist plus the Chosen can Synchro summon into your Ib, the Justicaire, the Synchro monster that we just got from Dark Neostorm, and from that, Synchro Fusionist can help you add your Brilliant Fusion from your deck to your hand. I've thought about cutting it out sometimes, but at this point it does help me in many clutch situations, so definitely quite nice. Speaking of the Brilliant Fusion engine, we're also playing the Performage Trick Clown. This card is very important, obviously. Again, further extend your board by additional monsters to help you link summon and link climb. Then we're also playing one copy of Glop Bob, definitely a really nice card. Again, it's just a way to just get more monsters onto the board because of its ability to actually recur itself from the graveyard. Plus it's a level 1 tuner, so it could definitely go well with your Beckon to go for some really interesting plays here. You know, now that I actually think about it, it's a level 1 Earth tuner, and this is an Earth level 4 monster. I don't know why I'm not playing Naturia Beast here, but yeah, if you guys are already wondering, I'm not actually playing Naturia Beast. You could definitely add that in. And to end things off with monsters, we're playing 3 copies of Ash Blossom. Definitely a really nice card. You draw into it, sometimes you don't need it, so you just shuffle it back in with Yugioh. And yeah, it's just definitely a really nice card to actually go for this particular deck, and it does the job here as well. Not to mention, together with the Shine Ball, you have a level 2, plus you have the level 3 tuner. Again, you could go in for your Ib, the Justicaire, which would definitely actually help facilitate your plays. Alright, so moving on to spells, we're playing one copy of World Legacy's Heart, we're playing one copy of World Legacy Succession, and we're playing one copy of World Legacy Guard Dragon. I wanted to put all these cards grouped together simply for the fact that World Legacy World Chalice can actually add all 3 of these cards simply by using its grave effects. So definitely a really nice card. All these cards are also really addable by Ib the Justicaire. So again, since these are searchable cards, they're definitely great extenders. World Legacy's Heart to add back your cards from the grave, to special summon from the grave, and again, to also special summon but also readjust your link markers and the monster zones that they're in. So definitely really nice to play these 3 cards together. We're also playing 2 copies of Transmodify. Basically, you transmodify from your Lee, the World Chalice, into your Venus and pretty much just get your combos right off. I think 2 is definitely more than enough. And yeah, sometimes you won't actually need it, but even then, I still think it's a really nice card that's worth playing to help accelerate your way to actually get into Venus. To start things off most of the time, we do need cards like Unexpected Die. We're playing plenty of normal monsters, so definitely not a bad draw to actually go for. And again, I'm playing 2 because sometimes the second copy might help out in, again, the late game if your opponent manages to clear your board, and you happen to actually shuffle all your monsters back into your deck with the Exodius, so definitely quite nice. Also playing the Reinforcement of the Army, obviously that will help you add your Beacon of the World Chalice, so you know, if we add more, then sure, we could actually increase the copies of all these cards, but that being said, with the 1, it's actually quite perfect for the deck. Being that this is actually a combo deck, you definitely have a lot of restrictions with hand traps. As a result, you definitely do need cards like Call It by the Grave. I'm playing 3 copies of this because I definitely don't want my opponents to actually negate my plays or everything like that, so 3 is definitely very necessary. We're also playing 1 copy of the Monster Reborn to help you extend your plays, just like these 2, so we basically are playing 3 copies of Monster Reborn in this deck here. We're also playing the 1 copy of 1 for 1 to bring out firstly your Glop Bob, but also a few other cards as well that can definitely help facilitate your plays. The Brilliant Engine, of course, we only have the 1 copy, so unfortunately that's what we go with. And the last card is Emergency Teleport, definitely a great way to bring out your Chosen by the World Chalice and pretty much just make your big plays. But that's pretty much it for the deck. No trap cards, no Kaiju Engine or anything like that. I might actually try out a Kaiju Engine in a separate build, but for now I'm pretty happy with this particular build for the main deck, so let's move on to the extra deck. Alright, so the extra deck definitely very interesting because a lot of people will definitely have their own versions of the extra deck that they actually want to incorporate. I just play what works for me, and I could most of the time actually use up pretty much 12 out of the 15 cards in my extra deck all in one turn. So it goes to show that this particular extra deck does work for me. You could adjust it to your liking if you want, but this is just my one. So we're playing one Yugioh. Most people play two. I think one's definitely enough. It does the job for me. Since I'm playing Exodius, I could easily shuffle it back anyway, so sometimes I can actually go for a second one in the same game. But I'm also playing Mech Knight Crusader Avramax, and I'm also playing Topologic Bomber Dragon. These are the main link fours that I'm actually playing in my deck here, and I could actually go for all three of them in the same turn. Definitely really nice, being able to actually co-link and just do a lot of fun here. So yeah, definitely really nice cards. The Avramax is definitely one of the best ones to actually protect your monsters, because you go for a lot of overwhelming cards, but at the same time your opponent can actually deal with all of them, so forcing your opponent to actually attack into your Avramax definitely really nice. With Bomb Dragon, again, there's a specific lockdown that you could actually go with for the Topologic Dragon, so definitely really cool. And Yugioh, obviously it's pretty self-explanatory. Moving on, we're playing one copy of Aurum, one copy of Ib, and we're also playing two copies of Imduk as well. Sadly, I want to play more copies of Imduk, but I think this will definitely do the job. Since, I'm playing Exodius, we could easily shuffle it back into the deck. We're also playing World Legacy's Heart, which can return any of these World Chalice cards back to the extra deck as well, so definitely does the job here. No need to play any more copies of this. I think this is definitely a really good ratio for the World Chalice Link monsters. And moving on, we're playing the Nightmare Engine as well. So I'm playing just the Cerberus and the Phoenix. I think they definitely do quite a good job at what they do, because firstly, you could go for a lot of co-links. This is World Chalice after all, so having these two cards to protect your monsters from both card effects and battle, that will definitely be really amazing, and you always get off the co-link effects as well, so definitely really nice to be able to draw more cards and cycle out things. For Link 1s, we're playing one copy of the Link Karibo, obviously to help you go for your co-linking. Otherwise, it's just another way to help you Link climb into higher monsters. We're playing the one Link Spider. How many normal monsters are we playing in this deck? We definitely have to play the Link Spider. Of course, one of the World Chalice cards we were missing was Ningirsu, the World Chalice Warrior. Basically, it requires two Link monsters. This is the reason why we're playing cards like Link Karibo, Nightmare Phoenix, Cerberus, everything like that. It's to really just go into your Ningirsu. Definitely really nice. I love games where, or rather just the one turn, where I'm able to go for both Ningirsu and Yugioh in the same turn. Definitely really fun, because I could potentially draw 3 cards out of Ningirsu and then another 4 more from Yugioh. Of course, with Yugioh, we get to put it back 3 copies, but either way, you're just getting so many pluses just by going for these 2 cards alone. Definitely really fun cards to play. We're also playing one copy of Trigate Wizard. Again, with the whole co-linking, you could actually get a really awesome board with one additional negate for Trigate, and you could also banish one of your opponent's cards as well, so definitely really nice, really powerful. That's pretty much it for the Link monsters. So for the fusions, we're obviously playing the Seraphonite, because it's part of the Brilliant Engine, and to end things off, we're playing the one Ib, the World Chalice Justiciar. Definitely does a really amazing job here, because you could actually use a normal monster World Chalice to actually be treated as a tuner. That's why it's like we could actually do so many things here, because all the normal monsters here, these ones, can actually be treated as tuners, despite the fact that they're not, if you're going into her. So definitely really amazing, and she was designed exactly for this deck, so really happy about this particular build right now. I have no complaints about it. I'll definitely maybe upload a test hand video for this, but aside from that, I'll also upload a few games as well for everyone to be able to watch us play. So yeah, do stay tuned for that. I know this video is a bit long, but I want to actually explain every single choice I make, because this deck definitely has a lot of builds that you could actually go with here. So thanks for staying for this long, but in the meantime, I hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you next time.
I fell where my demons dwell, my own little